Welcome to War Bios, the podcast that delves into the lives of history's most fascinating figures. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're exploring the remarkable life of Kanishka, one of the most influential emperors in ancient Indian history. Kanishka was born around 27 AD in the ancient city of Peshawar, which is now modern-day Pakistan. His birthplace was a bustling hub of trade and culture, situated at the crossroads of the Silk Road, where merchants and travelers from all over the world converged to exchange goods and ideas. Kanishka's family, the Kushans, were a powerful and influential dynasty that had ruled much of northern India, Central Asia, and parts of modern-day Pakistan for centuries. As a young boy, Kanishka would have grown up surrounded by the opulence and grandeur of the Kushan court. His father, Bhima Kadphises, was a renowned warrior and statesman who had expanded the empire's borders through a series of military campaigns. Kanishka's mother, whose name is lost to history, was likely a member of a noble or royal family, possibly from one of the many tribes that inhabited the region. Kanishka's early education would have been rigorous and well-rounded, with a focus on martial skills, literature, philosophy, and statecraft. He would have studied the ancient Indian epics, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, as well as the teachings of Buddhism, which was rapidly gaining popularity throughout the empire. Kanishka's tutors would have included some of the most learned scholars of the time, who would have instilled in him a deep appreciation for the arts, sciences, and philosophy. As he grew older, Kanishka would have become increasingly involved in the affairs of state, learning from his father and other experienced advisors. He would have been introduced to the complexities of governance, including taxation, administration, and diplomacy, and would have begun to develop the skills that would serve him so well as a future ruler. The historical context of Kanishka's early years was marked by significant events that shaped the Kushan Empire. The empire was expanding rapidly, with military campaigns in India, Central Asia, and China. Trade flourished along the Silk Road, bringing wealth and cultural exchange to the region. This period also saw the rise of Buddhism, which would become a major influence on Kanishka's life and legacy. One of the most significant events of Kanishka's early years was the construction of the Kushan summer capital at Mathura, a city located in modern-day India. The city was a hub of artistic and cultural expression, with some of the finest craftsmen and artisans at the time working on its grand buildings and monuments. Kanishka would have spent many summers in Mathura, surrounded by the beauty and creativity of the city, which would have had a profound impact on his aesthetic sensibilities. His family background, education, and exposure to diverse cultures and traditions all contributed to his development as a leader. The values of courage, strategic thinking, and leadership, instilled in him by his family and upbringing, would serve him well as he navigated the complexities of ruling a vast and diverse empire. With his education, training, and exposure to the complexities of war and statecraft, Kanishka is poised to take his place on the stage of history. As Kanishka ascended to the throne, he faced significant challenges. The Kushan Empire was vast and diverse, stretching from modern-day Pakistan to India and Central Asia. To consolidate his power and secure his borders, Kanishka launched a series of military campaigns that would expand the empire's territories and establish him as a formidable leader. One of Kanishka's most notable conquests was the annexation of the Indian kingdom of Gandhara, which is now part of modern-day Pakistan. This campaign not only expanded the Kushan Empire's borders, but also brought under its control the vital trade routes that connected India to Central Asia and China. The spoils of war, including vast treasures and resources, were used to fund Kanishka's ambitious projects, including the construction of grand buildings, monuments, and public works. Kanishka's military campaigns were not limited to India. He also launched expeditions into Central Asia, where he clashed with the Chinese Han dynasty. These battles were fierce and intense, with both sides suffering heavy losses. However, Kanishka's strategic genius and the bravery of his soldiers ultimately led to the Kushan Empire's victory, securing its position as a major power in the ancient world. In addition to his military conquests, Kanishka is also remembered for his administrative reforms. He established a robust system of governance, with a network of administrators, judges, and officials who were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining law and order, and overseeing public works. This system allowed the Kushan Empire to function efficiently, with resources being allocated effectively to support its vast population. Kanishka's patronage of Buddhism was another significant aspect of his reign. He was a devout Buddhist and saw the religion as a unifying force that could bring together the diverse populations of his empire. Under his rule, Buddhism flourished, with numerous monasteries, temples, and stupas being built throughout the empire. The most famous of these is the Kanishka stupa, a magnificent structure that was said to be over 400 feet tall and adorned with precious jewels and ornaments. Kanishka's support for Buddhism also extended to the arts. He was a patron of Buddhist artists, who created some of the most exquisite works of art in the ancient world. The Gandhara school of art, which flourished during Kanishka's reign, produced stunning sculptures, paintings, and carvings that depicted Buddhist themes and motifs. These works of art not only reflected the beauty and elegance of Buddhist art, but also showcased the cultural and artistic achievements of the Kushan Empire. His military conquests, administrative reforms, and patronage of Buddhism all contributed to his legacy as one of the greatest emperors in Indian history. As Kanishka grew older, he began to focus more on the cultural and artistic achievements of his empire. He continued to patronize Buddhism, and his court became a center of learning and intellectual inquiry. Scholars and artists from all over the ancient world flocked to the Kushan Empire, seeking patronage and support for their work. One of Kanishka's most notable achievements during this period was the establishment of the Kanishka Vihara, a magnificent Buddhist monastery that was said to be one of the largest and most beautiful in the ancient world. The monastery was a center of learning and spirituality, attracting scholars and pilgrims from all over the ancient world. Kanishka's legacy extended far beyond his own empire. He played a significant role in spreading Buddhism throughout Central Asia and China, and his patronage of Buddhist art and architecture helped to establish the Gandhara school as one of the most influential artistic styles in the ancient world. Despite his many achievements, Kanishka's final years were marked by turmoil and conflict. The Kushan Empire faced challenges from rival powers, including the Sasanian Empire in Persia and the Gupta Empire in India. Kanishka's successors struggled to maintain the empire's borders, and eventually the Kushan Empire fragmented into smaller kingdoms. Kanishka's death marked the end of an era, but his legacy endured for centuries. He was remembered as a wise and just ruler who had brought peace and prosperity to his empire. His patronage of Buddhism had helped to spread the religion throughout the ancient world, and his cultural achievements continued to inspire artists, scholars, and intellectuals for generations. In conclusion, Kanishka's life and legacy are a fascinating and complex topic that continues to captivate historians and scholars today. Kanishka's legacy serves as an inspiration to us all, encouraging us to strive for excellence, to pursue our passions with dedication and perseverance, and to leave a lasting impact on the world. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography, reminding you to keep marching toward victory.